Hello, it's been a while. This is Pam Brown from TNP Handmade Collection, and we're getting ready to do a new crochet series. This is another new adventure. Today we're going to crochet again from a diagram pattern according to the stitch diagram, and we're going to start off with the legend. Now, this pattern consists of double crochet and chains. As we crochet, as we look at the diagram, you're going to see the symbol for double crochet. Then we're going to do something new that we haven't done before. We're going to do a double crochet V-stitch, which you'll be seeing this symbol in the map. The next new thing that we'll be doing is the double crochet two together stitch, which is this symbol, and this is the chain. Now, if you don't know how to do a double crochet, please refer back to crochet series. I believe it's 2 or 3, and it shows you how to do the double crochet stitch if you're just learning how to do this stitch. Very simple beginner stitch. This is what the pattern looks like, and this is the map we're going to be following, this right here. This is what it looks like. I did a couple of these ahead of time. Let me move this out the way so you can see this. At the bottom here, I did a single crochet, thinking I was going to give it a nice border to it, or a foundation, which in essence, really you shouldn't do, because with this pattern, it's a beautiful, lacy, circular type of stitch that I found on Pinterest. And so I said, oh, I wonder how many things that could I actually make with this beautiful lacy pattern. So what I did was I doubled the pattern, and this is the pattern. I doubled it. This pattern works in increments of 23 stitches plus 3. Again, this is the first one that I worked up. It is the 23 plus 3, and you can see the pattern of the circle. I just thought this was so sharp. This was really nice. Something new to try. You know what I mean? I love adventures. This one is the doubled version of that first one, that pink one. So this one is the 52 plus 3, and I kind of had to finagle that, but it's about 52 plus the 3. As usual, you know, when I work on the edge, I'm not good with doing chain 3s, so I'll show you what I did in order to get mine to come up. But this is the pattern that we're getting ready to learn. What I need for you to do, we're only going to do the first pattern, which is the pink. I need for you to chain 23. And again, let's go over the legend, because you're going to be seeing this in a pattern. This means chain stitch. So I need for you to chain 23, and then I'm going to show you how I started, and then I'm going to chain another additional 3 onto that. So I'll see you in a moment. Chain 23. All right, have you did your 23 yet? This is what the chain looks like. And the yarn that I am using is just regular worsted scrap yarn, and this is a size 4mm crochet hook. And you can do this with any type of yarn or any type of crochet hook, as long as it's matching up, so that you can get a nice decent pattern. You don't want this to be really loose, so make sure that you kind of put a little tightness to this, but you still got to be able to get in and out of these chain stitches, so be careful of that as well. Let's look at this map again. I'm going to call it a map today. We're starting from here, which is the chain we just did. So we did 23, really 24. You're going to start in the next stitch to it. So that's what's making it 23. So you're chaining 24, and we're going to start in the next chain next to it. This right here, you can chain an additional 3. I don't usually do that. I'm going to show you what I'm getting ready to do. But if that's what works for you, chain 3. That gives you the double crochet stitch, and then chain 2 more. But this is how I'm doing mine. We're going to be working in the back part of the chain and the humps in the back. So we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. Now, sorry, I haven't done this in a while, so let me do it like this. This is what I do. I go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, then I go through the first, pull up the yarn to form another loop, which gives you 2. I think I'm out of focus. Gives you 2. Wrap the yarn around, go through the 2, and then go through the first one. And now you have 3, which is the size of a double crochet. Wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through, and chain 1 and 2. Chain the 2. Right here it says we're going to do the 2 together. Remember we talked about that one on the legend. It's called the double crochet 2 together. When I first did this, I had to go and look this one up on Pinterest because I hadn't done this. So this has been a nice little experience with this. But it's really simple. It's not hard to do. Wrap your yarn around your hook. Go into, now we're going to be, according to this, we're going into the first one right next to this double crochet right here. So we're going into the next one right next to it. We're going to do a double crochet stitch. You're going to complete it. Then the difference is you're going to skip 2 chains down here and go into the third. We're going to skip this one, and then we're going into the third chain, and we're going to double crochet to give us the double crochet 2 together, and that's this stitch. The next thing it says after you do the double crochet 2 together, even though it's got this space, it's really like an upside down V-stitch. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do a V-stitch, and we're going to skip 2 stitches down here, or 2 chains. We're going to skip 1, make sure I'm in focus. We're going to skip 1, and we're going to skip 2, and then in this third one, we're going to do a V-stitch. You're going to double crochet, chain 2, and then you're going back into that same stitch Wrap your yarn around, go back into the same stitch and complete the second double crochet stitch. And this is what a V-stitch looks like. The next thing we're going to do is repeat this pattern. We're going to chain 2, skip 2, and we're going into this third chain, and we're going to do that double crochet, the double crochet 2 together. Only we're going to have 2 chain spaces in between. Okay. Skip 2, 1, 2, and into this third one, we're going to do another double crochet stitch. Let's get some yarn. We're going to skip the next 2 chains right here. Don't chain anything up at the top this time. We're going to skip these 2 and go into the third, and we're going to complete this stitch. So do a double crochet, go through 2, then go through the second 2. So there's your stitch complete right there. And it looks so strange when you do this because it doesn't look like anything at first, but continue to crochet following this pattern, and it changes out into circles. All right, so we just did this one right here, and so we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip these 2, and then we're going to do another upside down or a V stitch. Just it's almost like an opposite. So we're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, chain 2, go back into the same stitch, pull up 2, pull up 2, and there you have your V stitch again. Okay, we just did the V stitch. We're going to chain 2 again. 1, 2, and we're going to skip 2 stitches at the bottom, or 2 chain stitches at the bottom, and then in this third one we're going to double crochet again. Double crochet, but this time just 1. We're not going to add any chains at the top, but we are going to skip 2, and then we're going to crochet, double crochet here. And we did this one correctly. And we're going to chain 2, and then in the last stitch we're going to do a double crochet like we did in the beginning. Okay, so we just started from here. This was the row of chains, and you see how I drew the arrow. This is row 1, and then we're going up to row 2. So we're going in this direction from here on. We're going up this way. We did this. Okay, I'm sorry. This is row 1. So chain, then we did the 2, the double crochet 2 together, the V stitch. Now we're going up to the third row, which is where we're going to do the single crochet, the double crochet or chain 3. I'm going to do it the way I do it to get the same size as this double crochet stitch. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go back into the same stitch. I'm going to pull up a loop, pull through two, go through the first one, pull up a second loop like this, wrap the yarn around, pull through two, and into the first one again, pull yarn up like this, and you have your same height as you would have for a double crochet. Chain two. In this case, we're going to be chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is where we are. We're going to chain 5. Here, we're going to do a double crochet in the top of the V-stitch. This is your V-stitch right here. You're going to skip this double crochet 2 together and go straight over to the V-stitch. And right here, you're going to do double crochet, chain 2, then you're going to double crochet in the other side of the V-stitch, right in the top. We're right here. Now we're going to chain 5 again, and that's going to be the pattern. You're going to do chain 5, double crochet, 2 double crochets. Why am I saying it? I am so sorry. 2 chains, and then double crochet in the top of that V-stitch. And then you're going to chain 5 again and then double crochet. That's what this symbol means right here, is double crochet. So let's work this row. I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip this one right here and go to this one, which is your V-stitch. And you're going to go into the top, and you're going to just do 1 double crochet stitch, and then you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to go to the other side of this V-stitch, and it'll look clear as you continue to work up. Usually when you're working in 1 stitch and not going into 2, it just kind of looks real weird and strange. And that's how it appeared to me when I first did this. Okay, we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we're down here. We're going to chain 5, and then we're going to go on the top of this double crochet stitch. We're going to make 1 double crochet stitch, and then we're going to turn. Now again, you can do 3, chain 3, or you can do a double crochet stitch, whichever way is easiest for you to do this. All right. I like doing this particular stitch because when you're working on some things, they have like gaps from having chains, and when you go to do a border, it just looks all loosey-goosey. But for me, this just kind of gives it a nice appearance. So, okay, let's go back to the pattern. We're here. Now we're going up to row 3, and we're going to be working this direction, and it's just like really kind of like row 1. Basically it's like row 1 down, well, I'm sorry, row 2. So let's get started with right here. We're going to chain 1, 2, and we're going to skip 2 this time. We're going to skip 2 chains, and in the third we're going to make a V-stitch. So let's skip 2. We're working in this chain, so this is where you have to really look at this. Let me turn this around. You're going to skip 2 and you're going to work in the third one. I did the double crochet in the stitch instead of going it around it on the outside so that it would stay in place. I've done patterns and it just slips around, so I went into the stitch. All right, so we're going to chain 2. We're going to go back into the stitch, and we're going to make that second double crochet stitch to get the V-stitch. And we're going to chain 2 again. Make sure I'm in view. Chain 2. And right here, we're going to make the double crochet 2 together, but this is a strange one, and it's not hard. You're just going to do the double crochet here into this top stitch right here, and then we're going to do the other second double crochet in the other side, and there's no chain in between, and it simply looks like this. Double crochet in here, no chains, and then double crochet directly across right here. Then we're going to chain 2. Okay, we chain 2. Now we're going to go into the next set of the 5 chains, and we're going to the third one, to the middle one, like I showed you in the first set of 5, and we're going to do a V-stitch in that third chain. Let's look at this. 1, 2, and right here's the third one. So that's where we're going in there. So that's why I said it can't be too tight, so that you can, work. Like you see what I've just did here. Let me see if I can get this in. I should be able to. But if not, you can go through 1 or 2. It just, whichever works best for you. It's okay. Double crochet. Chain 2. 1, 2. And then we're going back in to that stitch again. And we're going to make the second double crochet stitch. You almost see the pattern coming through. Okay, so we did this one right here. We're going to chain 2 again, and then we're going to do the double crochet 2 together, but we're going to do them on top of this square part right here, and we're going to kind of space it apart like that, but you will not chain in between. So we'll start up here. We're going to double crochet 1 stitch, then right here we're going to go into the next one over here, this square right here up at the top, and we're going to double crochet. So that's your double crochet 2 together. The next thing we're going to do, just like we did, we're just repeating what we were doing in this row. We're going to do the next V-stitch in the 3rd chain of the 5 that we had right here. So count over 1, 2, 3, and then do this V-stitch. Let's see where mine is. 1, 2, and then this one. Like I said, you can work this from the outside, or you can just do one. I've just been doing both of them just to make sure that, you know, it doesn't look so loose. So I've been working in both. Double crochet. Make sure I'm in focus. We're going to chain 2, because this is a V-stitch. And then you're going to go back in right here. And we're going to chain 2 again. So here we are right here. And we're going to do chain 2, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet. And I don't know why they left this out, but that's what it is. It's 2 chains. And then you're going to do your double crochet in this post right here. You do it on the top of your chain or the top of your double crochet, or like I just did mine. It just gives it structure. So I'm going to kind of lay it flat so you can kind of start to see it does form the circle. It's starting to form it. Okay. We're going to turn, and you're going to either chain 3 or do a double crochet or do what I'm doing, whichever way is comfortable for you. Chain 2. Let's look at the map. We did this, so we're up here. So we're going to skip 2. We're going to double crochet in the top of the V-stitch. We're going to chain 2. We're going to double crochet in the top of the other side of the V-stitch, and then we're going to chain 5 again, and we're repeating the pattern again from down here. It's the same thing. Okay, let's go in here. Double crochet, chain 2, make sure I'm in the right spot. Yep. Oh yeah, I am. Okay, then do this, double crochet. Sometimes this can become very confusing, and if it doesn't look right, take it loose. Okay, yep, that's correct. Okay, we're going to chain 5. 1, let's get some yarn. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, then we're going to jump over to the next V-stitch, and we're going to double crochet, chain 2, and then go to the other side with that V-stitch. Wow, my yarn is splitting, sorry. Okay, we just did this, and now we're going to chain 5 again. Okay, and one more time, we're going to this upside down, well, I'll just say V-stitch because it's really upside down, but we're going to this next V-stitch. And we're going to chain 2, going to the other side of the V-stitch, which puts this right here, and we're going to chain 2 and then double crochet in top of the post at the end. There you go. Okay. All right, now we're coming up to row 5. Okay. Again, you can do the chain 3, or you can do the double crochet chain 2, or you can do it like I'm doing it. Now, this gets to be a little confusing in this spot. Make sure we're up here so that you can see. It says it looks like it's a chain 4. I just did a double crochet. You can, and I'm keeping with the double crochet and chaining 2. That's what I'm doing. It should have been another circle right here. So let's just keep with what we've been finding because it works. Get ready to do a double crochet. No, that's not what I'm going to do. Sorry. Go in. And one more time. Pull through. Okay, and I'm going to chain 2. And in row 5 right here, we're going to go to this part right here. This is a double crochet, and then we're going to do the double crochet 2 together on top of that. So that's right here, these 2. So we're going to do a double crochet here, no chains in between this time. We're going right over here. There we go, right here. We're going to chain 2, here we go, right here, chain 2, and then we're going to do the V-stitch in the middle of the 5. So you're going to count over 1, 2, and 3, and then the third one you're going to do the V-stitch where it's the 2 chains in between. Okay, right here. All right, we're right here. Make sure right in focus. Okay, we just did this one, and now we're moving on. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do the double crochet 2 together. Only we're going to do 1 double crochet here, and we're going to do the other one right here. Even though this it doesn't matter, we won't have to put any chains in between. So let's do this. We're going to skip this section right here. Okay, right here. Okay, chain 2. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, right here, we're doing this right here where we did the double crochet 2 together, and we put 1 double crochet here and then went up and then went to this other side right here and put the other one. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to work again in the chain 5, working in the 3rd chain. We're going to this one right here. One and 2, because we're doing a V-stitch. We're going back into that 3rd chain to complete the V-stitch. We're going to chain 2 again, 1 and 2, and then we're going to be right back here in this box right here with the double crochet 2 together. So we're going to put 1 right here, 1 double crochet here, and then we're going to do the next one. Uh-oh, did I miss? Oh, sure did. Oh, moving too fast. Okay, here, sorry. It goes in here. This first one of this square. Double crochet, chain 2 together. Chain 2. And then go into this one right here. Double crochet. We're going to chain 2, and then we're going to double crochet in the top of this post right here. Do it in the top 3rd one. And you have your sequence finished. Let me move this out the way so you can see the sequence. I would take this and probably wet it and then block it and then just let it air dry. But look at the pattern. See that? And to keep this, when you work with this, let me make sure I explain this correctly where you can see this. To keep going and adding on more rows, you work and do a repeat from 2 to 5. So you keep going, you go back from here and then start back at row 2. Go to row 2 and then work your way back up to row 5 again. And then once you work your way up to row 5, then you come back to row 2 again. You don't need to do this one because this is the same as this. So the repeat rows are from 2 to 3, and you keep doing this to make this as big or as long as you want, because that's why I did it with this swatch, to see how this actually worked. And that's how I was able to first to do the whole complete thing, but then I doubled this so to know this is in increments or in stitches of 23 plus 3. So like I said, to double this I did like 52 plus 3. But again, if you want this to continue to go, do the next rows above, you're going to just repeat rows 2 to 5. So I'm going to just put these right back. Absolutely, I love it. And it does come out, and we were able to get through. This was my first one, which is the same as the one that I just did. There you go. Absolutely neat stitch. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's it for today. My name is Pam Brown. I am with and I am from T&P Handmade Collections. I am on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I have a Wix website, and I'm on Pinterest. So as usual, I find something else new to do. I probably will crochet this into something, maybe a dress garment, maybe a shawl or something. I don't know. But have a blessed week, and we will see you for the next crochet series. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.